everybody, it's Teresa here. Today I'm going to be making a soap that is basically inspired by its fragrance. I ordered some fragrances from candlescience.com. They had a sale on their fragrance oils. And despite their name, they do have a line of fragrance oils that is safe for bath and body. And the one that I love the most out of the 10 that I purchased is their passion fruit and guava. I cannot explain the smell to you adequately, but it smells very yummy. So I went on Google and I was Google searching. There's a piece of butter on the bow. I was Google searching passion fruit and I seen a beautiful flower that was purple and green and white, and so I decided that I was going to give it a go. Now you all know, if you follow my channel, that I have problems with purples. I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my additives while I talk. I have problems with purples, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm gonna give it a go because I'm really excited. And even if it fails, I still have a beautiful soap that I love to smell. So I mean, because if the colors fell, I mean, it just make ugly soap. I mean, it won't make bad soap. Well, I guess in some cases it might, but it won't in mine. So we're going to cross our fingers and hope that purple works, but if it doesn't, it won't be the end of the world. What you just see me add in there was some, well, it was a lot of things. It was kaolin clay, bentonite clay, aloe, castor oil, vitamin E, heavy cream, I'm sure there was something else in there that was in there that I am forgetting to tell you about. And we're just going to have to leave it at that. Because I can't remember. Alright, so I'm going to give this a little zhuzh because there's so much clays and things like that in there. So I did want to mention that I reached right before I came downstairs, I was looking at YouTube. I was looking at my analytics and realized that I've reached 200 subscribers in about 4 months. I cannot begin to tell you how wonderful that makes me feel that you all are following along and are interested enough in what I'm doing, that you are willing to subscribe and have me spam your YouTube channel feed, or YouTube feed. So thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my lye mixture into the soap. Today there is a variety of things in here, including aloe vera, salt, sugar, well, I guess that's actually it. It's aloe vera, salt, aloe vera juice, salt, and sugar. The heavy cream that I added is also part of my water content for this soap. So, and the spray you heard, again, I've said it many times before, but just in case you're new, the spraying you just heard was me spraying some vinegar into my lye bucket. I heard once that it helps neutralize any lye that's left, so I do it. I'm trying to reach emulsification here. If you're new to soaping, you don't know what that means. Emulsification is when there is no more oil floating on the top of your soap. When you add creams and clays and things like that, it changes the color of your oil before you get your lye in, so you could get false emulsification. So you have to be very, very careful to make sure that you're actually at emulsification. Now I did actually use a little more water in this than I normally do. It's still not full water, but it is more than what I normally do. And I did that because, well, here lately I've been trying to do a drop swirl of soap, and every time it seems like my batter is just too thick. So to avoid that, I'm trying to make sure I've got all my oils mixed in. Yeah, okay. But to avoid that, I did bump up my water just a tad for this soap, because I would like to be able to get the swirls that I've been dreaming of. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour off the batter into my bucket. I have not added in my fragrance oil yet because, well, I don't know how it's going to do. So, obviously, well, let's just say I don't know how it's going to do. So, I'm a little nervous, so I'm not going to add it in yet. Isn't that a beautiful color green? The photo that I have of the passion fruit flower, that's what it was called. Now, if there's no such thing as passion fruit flowers, don't shoot me. That's what the picture was called, but it had a really pretty green. So here we go. I'm going to add in a third of this and pray that it doesn't seize or rice or do anything nasty. It is a little more yellow than I remembered, but that's okay. I can handle yellow. Oh, it smells so good. I can handle discoloration. If it does decide to discolor on me, I can handle that. I can handle discoloration. I cannot handle seize. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get this into the mode, and we're going to move along. I'm going to put all of it in there, but I am not going to scrape it because I want some for the top. Whoa! Did you see that? I'm not used to my batter being so fluid. Oh, that was crap. Oops, sorry. I know people make fun of me for saying sorry that I said crap, but, and I said it again. Oh, man. Well, there's no hope for me, is there? Okay, so I'm going to do my white next, because I should have done mix the white first, but I did not want to, I splattered on myself. There's soap on me. I don't know what I did not want. Oh, I didn't want it to seize on me. I'm sorry. I'm a little flustered at the second. Get a third of this in there. A little more. And the rest will go into the other Yeah, this is a little more yellow, but it doesn't seem to be too god awful bad. As far as it's not like turning my batter brown on instant, so we'll just have to see what we get as it cures. I did have that one from Brambleberry that I knew was supposed to discolor that didn't discolor, and I was like, oh my gosh, it didn't discolor, and of course it has since discolored, but it's just not as dark as I want it. Alright, before I drop that in, because that's staying pretty fluid, I'm going to go ahead and mix up the purple. I'll pop that over there. I'll mix up my purple. I'm wiping some of the white off of my stick blender. Not all of it, but most of it. The rest of my fragrance oil in. Oh, I would highly recommend that I highly recommend you try that Passionfruit Guava. It smells so good. It really does. It smells so yummy. Not yummy in the sense of I want to eat you, or want to eat it. Not you, it. Not that sort of yummy. But yummy in the sense that it really smells good. It's a very nice fragrance. In my humble opinion, it's like sweet, floral, and yeah, it's sweet and it's like a sweet floral scent. It's very nice. Something that I could imagine my mother-in-law using, or my mother. Probably my mom. It smells a little more like my mother than my mother-in-law. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to drop swirl these colors in. It's staying very fluid. No acceleration that I am seeing at the moment. Oh, I have nowhere to stick that. Alright, so I'm going to drop swirl this in. Stop there. I actually over poured that just a bit. Stop there. Yes. So, if you're wondering, and you're keeping track, again, this is Passionfruit Guava from candlescience.com, and as far as I can tell, it does not discolor, and it does not rise. I mean, it does not accelerate, and it does not rise. So I'm going to swirl this a little bit with my skewer just to give it a little more swirl inside. Alright, so I think it's gonna be a while before this is set up enough to do my topping. But I'm going to go ahead and scrape my buckets and get them on there. Okay, so this is clearly not ready to, well, it's clear to me. It may not be clear to you. It's not ready to texture. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pop this glove off. And I'm going to pause the camera and wait for it to set up while I clean up a little bit, and I'll bring you back. Alright, we're back. This is ready to go, but before I do that, I promised to tell you how I got this purple. It's a very light purple. It's not a very vibrant purple. It's a muted purple. And I got it by using Crafter's Choice, which is sold by Wholesale Supplies Plus. It may be sold elsewhere, I'm not sure. I'm using their matte lavender ultramarine powder. I got this as a sample pack, and I will tell you that I mixed it in water only, not in oil. I have tried mixing it in oil, and it didn't work well, and I did use quite a bit, probably close to a teaspoon. So there you go. So I'm going to do this while trying not to overdo this. Just drop that in the middle. Whatever I get is what I get. I'm not going to keep going over it and over it and over it, because when you do that, you lose the definition of your colors. So I'm just cleaning up the side of my mold just a bit with my spoon. This one kind of overlaps, so I'm going to push that back in to the mold. But that's okay. And one little tip, it's not a tip, I mean, I'm not a professional, but I do want to remind everybody that when you're looking at your loaf, after you've made your soap, like if you're at the stage I'm at right now, and you look at your soap and you think to yourself, well, this side doesn't quite look like this side, or this part down here doesn't quite look like that part down there. You have to remember that you're cutting your bars at 1 inch to 1.5 inches maybe. So you're not going to see the variance in your bars that you actually see in the loaf. So just look at the picture of just 1 inch of it, and you'll see what you're actually going to see when you cut the bars. And you will find, or I have found most of the time, that it's really not that bad. You know, it really doesn't look bad when you look at it like that. I'm just texturing the center here a little bit with my spoon, and I'm not going to keep going over it and over it and over it, because I don't want to overmix it, overmix my colors. So I'm just trying to give it a nice texture in the center, and that's that. Again, there's a spot down here that is not, it doesn't have a nice texture at all, and of course you want it to at least have somewhat of a nice texture. There we go. There we go. I'm trying not to overmix it, but I'm also trying to make sure that my little window looks decent. You know, I don't want to neglect any one of the bars because in fear of overmixing. I do want them all to look nice. And there you go. I'm going to leave it like that. And the last step is glitter. My glitter came from Brambleberry. I ordered 2 ounces 4 months ago, and I put just a tiny bit in the salt shaker, and it has lasted and lasted, and it finally ran out in my last soap that I used glitter on, out of that lid, and I still have a ton. I mean, literally, I think this is 1 ounce, and you can see how much I have. So, just a word to the wise for new soapers out there. When you're looking at soaping ingredients and it says 1 ounce, like colorants or glitters, when it says 1 ounce, 1 ounce in a soda pop may not seem like much. But when you're talking about 1 ounce of something like glitter or colorants, it's a lot. So, or it's a lot more than you would think it would be. So there you have it. This is my Passionfruit Guava. I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, and I may just wait until I cut it and see what people come up with to name it. I don't like to do that because I make my photos and I label my photos with the name of the soap, and I add those into my videos here on YouTube. So I don't like to wait, and I may not. I may shut off this camera and be like, oh my goodness, this is what I'm going to call it, but we will see. So anyway, I again want to thank everyone who watches my YouTube channel, follows along. I really, really appreciate your support and your comments and your help along the way. It has been invaluable to me. Thank you very much for watching. To each one of my 200 subscribers, I love you all. Thank you for watching. Happy soaping. Bye-bye.